Across a large portion of our state, anyone 16 and older is now eligible to get a COVID vaccine. And on Monday, all Idahoans 16 and older will be eligible. The vaccines available were given with an emergency use authorization. They were tested for safety, but technically, they've not quite finished the entire clinical trial cycle. That work still continues. And did you know that Idaho is host to some of that really important research? Joe Paris spoke with Advanced Specialty Research in Nampa about two of their current COVID research projects.
While thousands of Idahoans have received a COVID vaccine, research teams continue to study the effectiveness of vaccines and how they interact with the human body. Advanced Specialty Research in Nampa is currently working on two different COVID vaccine studies.
There's still people participating in trials, and we're still collecting data.
Jennifer Poralla is the director of ASR. She says the research currently includes COVID vaccines, but extends far beyond that as well.
We are a local research company that works with small bio-pharmas that are just kind of in the starting phase of some kind of a drug or device, all the way up to the large pharmaceutical companies that already have drugs and devices on the market.
The coronavirus pandemic created a need for a vaccine, and that vaccine needed to be put through clinical research. ASR was asked to join studies and did after initial safety phases for the vaccine were cleared. Right now, ASR is working on a study about how the Pfizer vaccine interacts with pregnant women. Poralla explains how it works.
They would come in, they would have a full safety lab done on them to make sure that they're appropriate for it. And then at that point, we would bring them back in and do the traditional vaccines, just like you would get if you were out at the pharmacy. You'd come in day one and get a vaccine. 21 days later, you get one. And then we would follow you and the baby for a year.
Participants are closely monitored through an electronic diary that they're given by ASR, along with routine visits. Notes from the participant about how they feel after getting the vaccine, along with test results, provides extremely valuable data.
We let the pharmaceutical company know. It all gets entered in, and they look at all that interim analysis. And that's kind of how all those side effects come into play when you listen to the cute little spiel that goes on. You may have this, this, and this. We're the ones that collect that data.
Clinical research gives a glimpse of the medical advancements of tomorrow. For example, ASR is working on a clinical research on a new plant-based Medicago COVID vaccine, not available to the public yet. It's past safety phases, but is now in efficacy testing. Results from the study will be available in the coming months.
Ultimately, what it's doing on any of the ones that I've seen so far is it's actually entering your body, acting like the virus so that your body builds antibodies to it. So the minute it recognizes it as something foreign, it's going to go ahead and react.
Clinical research is crucial work. Poralla says participants in studies are extremely valuable. Clinics greatly appreciate the risks that they take to try to help others.
You as a healthy individual is saying, you know what, I'm willing to help science. I want to figure out if we can help the general population. So you go through an informed consent process, and you have to read through it and sign it and agree to it. And then once you're given a drug, you don't know how it's going to react within your particular body because everybody's body is different.
With that said, though, ASR knows how crucial it is for their veteran staff of longtime Idaho medical experts to take great care of their participants, whatever that may take.
And it's just really important to know that we care about each one of our participants, and we want them to be happy, healthy, and safe. And it's something that, we try to treat them like family and make sure that they know that we can't be here without them. So we sure appreciate anybody and everybody that participates in research, not just if it's with our site, but any site anywhere, because we can't have great, wonderful medicines without wonderful participants.
Wow, a vegan COVID vaccine. I know I'm simplifying that, but this is fascinating to watch this play out in real time. And so, Joe, are people still can you still be involved in these studies?
Yeah, ASR is actually looking for people to join both of their studies. So if you're interested in either of those studies that we mentioned, we're going to have details for you on this story at ktvb.com. Even if you're not interested and you want to learn a little bit more about what ASR is doing in Nampa, we'll have a link to that in this story. Brian, to me personally, I think that it's incredibly cool to see this breakthrough stuff happening in our community.
Right here in our own backyard. All right, thank you very much, Joe.